Climate change is such an issue because it affects everybody. The way that climate change does not solely affect the environment, it also affects people's health. Climate change is described as the global climate changing, weather patterns becoming more severe, and not just planet heating. This topic is an important issue to research as it has given a greater understanding of this issue and how people talk about it. Climate change is an issue that affects everybody, no matter the area. My discipline of social science and majoring in child and community has provided me the understanding of climate change isn't an issue for the adults. It's an issue that affects children and many different community groups. What things did I find interesting in my research? I found that when completing the noted biography for this assignment, the peer-reviewed journals seem to gear towards the physical community. How the extreme weather makes an impact on the children in the community groups. However, one of the readings goes into detail about the well-being of children and how children are impacted by the stress of climate change. Children do not have the same level of resilience and do not have the skills to cope when stressed. When a child hears about climate change, it is mostly negative, which the child does not know how to cope and how to deal with the stress when hearing constant negativity. As well as the fight against climate change, we do need to look after our children's well-being when they are around this conversation. During the interview, I found it really interesting that both my interviewees had strong opinions on what suggestions they made in order to fight climate change. I personally had a minimal viewpoint on climate change. My suggestions did not involve what my interviewees suggested. They suggested things like better recycling, affordability for electric cars to purely minimize emissions. The idea to fight climate change can be a holistic approach instead of the pressure of individual changes. I have to admit that I really struggled with this assessment. I have not done a research task on this scale. I actually had a bit of fun with it. I believe my strength came from completing this assignment for the fact that it was fun. I had completing the interviews. I enjoyed coming up with questions I asked, though when it came to the survey data, the numbers completely threw me off. I kept going until I understood what to do. When I completed the tables, it was interesting. The whole assessment brought a wider knowledge to how I conduct different research methods as a wider understanding for this topic.